Okay, Coach, so the folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Reset, 19, 59. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Calling officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 19-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Here I come. Here I come. Alert. Whip. Watch the whip. Hey, 24. Crunch. Let's go.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And right away, he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Watson just beating the play clock. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. 180. Lock.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to his tight end, Sprinkle. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check tight end. Check tight. Check tight.
Play action. Garoppolo. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Here we go.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's McCaffrey. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches.
3rd and less than a yard.
Here we go.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to go for a big play. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 20-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Come on, let's go. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
A run for Nick Chubb. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Man left, man left. 4 down, check. 4 down. 24. Get ready.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Where's the set? 19. 58. Come on. No chance. Alert. Watch the shot. Kill.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And now running right through it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 44-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson. Campbell making the catch. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Set. 19. It's just me and you.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson, flush to his right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Browns drive about to get started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Back to you. I'm going back to you.
Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down.
Here we go.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long.
Come on, QB, come on.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
First and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. As we know, they had the chance last week, Charles, to lock up the division. Couldn't do it. Now it all comes down to the final week of the season. But once again, they control their destiny.
And that's a good thing. But I wonder about mindset because you mentioned they had a chance to lock it up last week, didn't. Are they bringing extra pressure to themselves now? Even though they control their own destiny with a win, now because they didn't get it done before, will they be even tighter as they approach this game?
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Under 10. Under 10. 10. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
On the ground, it's Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards, first down. What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that second level and third, and that's what they were able to exploit.
Going jet sweep, here's Campbell. It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
46-yard line.
Who's that? 19! Check safety, check safety! 24!
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. To throw is Watson, operating from the gun. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Watson flushed out right. He'll run it. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
We're set. 19. 59. Hey, get the weapon. Undercut. 25.
From the red zone now, Watson. Pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Calais Campbell racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson, that's complete to Hines out of the backfield. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 3rd and long, it's Watson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Calais Campbell, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And now he'll tuck it and run. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Here we go. 180!
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Shit, man!
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things.
Here we go.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Here we go. 180!
I got you, son.
21.
Garoppolo on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29.
12, fellas, here we go.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And they'll get this down to the 10. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They've got a first and 10 from the 10.
55, 955. Hey, eat. Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Travis Kelce. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that will give him the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better...
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
The Browns drive about to get started. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Lets it fly for Thielen. He's got him in, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Around the NFL, second quarter in Atlanta. An early lead in that game for the Falcons. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor.
Here we go.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think
blitz coming and down he goes. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Now we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean,
here we go.
oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. McCaffrey. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Here we go.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 58 for Mike. 58. 58 for Mike. You.
21.
Now Garoppolo. And he's got Moncrief. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Here we go. By 20.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this.
On the ground, McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Let's get off the field, D. Check 13.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Chubb with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? On 2nd and 15 now. Garoppolo. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it's 3rd down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just dropped to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
31's the mic. Check the out. Check the out. Check the out.
Watson now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check. Watch it. Watch it. Get the mic. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Godwin. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 47-yard line.
Here we go. 180.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
21. Here we go.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Oh, Travis Kelce unable to pull it in, and it's 3rd and short.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Christian McCaffrey. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Browns have retaken the lead. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And again, it's Chubb. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
Switch. Hey, 24. Hey, 24.
Watson operating from the gun. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
It's a gain of 6.
A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Watson on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Catch made here by Campbell. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 32-yard line. From the gun, Watson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Calais Campbell in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
131. Slam. Check. 54.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And this is caught inside the 5. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Chubb, and he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Nick Chubb, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Quick throw here to Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win, because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
61, matchbox lights.
13, 13.
Hey, exit.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. Moncrief brings it in. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Dante Moncrief, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that gives them a 3-point lead. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Watch the safety creep. 25. 25. 31's the lose it.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Now it's Watson. Room past the 20. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And they will finally get him down to the 27-yard line. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Watson going to stay out there as they'll go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th. Watson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give them 17 on that pickup. He's back to throw. Dancing to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks.
At the 46-yard line.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
3rd and 15.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
3 down, 3 down. 59 mark, 59.
Watson now to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On 4th, they'll go again and try it once more. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory.